did. And a lot of that was that they got the tribute that was on Octalysis' side of the map. ETC is 28% win rate coming in today, by the way.
So first pick win being broken. There's ENDEMIC able to win. Octalysis going to go back to a familiar battleground for them, and Tomb of the Spider Queen. For them, a long time, this has been a preferred battleground for them. Their win rate during Phase 1, however, was drastically different than their roster of 2017. Now we'll see them come back to it here.
You know what's really interesting? The series between Freedom and ENDEMIC on Friday, First Pick won every single game except one. And that one was the reason why ENDEMIC lost the match, and that was on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The one game where Freedom was able to win from a second pick position. Just drawing some synergies here. Painting some drama. Do the same, yeah.
Well, Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's another Chromie map, and we know Prismat likes to play that. We've seen it banned out already. Hanzo does well. Jaina, who is yet to make an appearance, also tends to have high priority. Today has been a far less Jaina day than we normally have in North America.
Octalysis loves Deckard Cain here. They've picked him both games. In half, played a little bit of Jaina, a little bit of Gul'dan, even some Stitches play here. ENDEMIC has only played one game. It was the game that they played versus Freedom, and they too played Jaina. So we might end up seeing, well, you know who we're not going to see. None of that.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, like, all right, there's some respect for Prismat's Chromie, and ENDEMIC Octalysis only has two picks before that second ban. I did not expect the first ban Chromie. I understand it, but that's not what I expected.
And now Octalysis is in the same point they were in the last game, or that ENDEMIC were, where one of Genji or Tracers getting through. ENDEMIC showed us why Genji is banned so much in the last game. He looked pretty good.
The ceiling is very high for Genji at times. Octalysis, is it a Genji ban? They're going to go Johanna, which leads me to believe that if Genji is the first pickup here, then we might get an early Tracer pickup on the side of Octalysis. You think any chance Urel makes it through this draft?
Did she go all the way through?
She was not seen in the last one.
Curious.
Cure. I mean, you could say EOS. I'm totally cool with that.
EOS.
Yes, Cure.
Yes.
There, that's better. There we go. Teamwork.
Synergy. You should have just said team. I say work. Ugh.
I say again.
I'll say G.
Top of Korea.
He's back in ENDEMIC's hands, and he looked very good in the last one. Now Octalysis, they could go with the Malf Tracer here. They could leave it until later if they wanted to, just get the Malfurion. Then something else with the Johanna ban. Do they feel like they need it? Octalysis doesn't play a ton of Joe, and Justine flexes so much, I don't feel like that's any sort of worry about a choke.
I'm feeling Dibbles. Justine Dibbles is good. One thing that they could, if they don't want to prioritize a warrior and they want to see how the draft of ENDEMIC kind of evolves, you can always just eat a Genji. And we have seen Stitches played by Justine before. This is a battleground where we have seen some Stitches play.
I want to know if they get Deckard Cain, because this is the rotation. Every time we've seen them on Tomb, they have picked Deckard, but nope, they're going to get Muradin, and there is Urel.
So no chance making it through, and those are two very tanky heroes. You don't have the setup initiation that we've seen from a lot of Johannas as of late, so Muradin is a bit tankier in these situations. Now for ENDEMIC, we saw the choke on the Warriors last game. Do they feel that they need to pick up a Diablo in this rotation, or are they going to be comfortable with the circumstances if he's not available going into a Garrosh or a Arthas at this point, which is weird to say, but I think that was more niche pick, and it definitely worked out. That was very well planned.
Even versus a Cursed Bullet too, which I was a little bit concerned about.
Well, the one thing the Army does is it blocks a lot of leaving skill shots. That's one of the weird things, and it doesn't necessarily take them down because they do have a decent amount of health. I mean, how many times is I guarantee you could hop into scrims in any given week, and I'm pretty sure there's probably not that much, not that I know, but I'm pretty sure there's probably not a lot of Arthas being played these days.
I would hazard to say I agree with you on that one. Now, Octalysis did not get Malfurion, at the very least, in those 2 picks, so ENDEMIC will take him away, which limits somewhat the capabilities of getting a Tracer, although Tassadar is a nice addition to a composition on Tomb of the Spider Queen and could be the backup if Octalysis still wants to move into that Tracer later on.
It's a bit scary. Again, Genji with the deflect, Malfurion Ice Block, and then Blaze Bunker. And for ENDEMIC, you mentioned that Octalysis does have high priority for Deckard. Is that going to be the ban here?
Likely. Possible. The thing is, Buds likes Rhaegar so much, I almost wonder if he is now at a point where he likes Rhaegar even better. Because purely of the fact that where they drafted Deckard has already gone through. I think maybe it's more, especially with that Jaina ban, maybe something that ENDEMIC could play on the ranged heroes a bit more if they feel like there's something that they can pick there that's not going to come back to haunt them with the next 2 picks from Octalysis.
If they're not going to go Tracer, I'd love to see a Phoenix pick up. I think Phoenix trades out generally pretty well against the Genji, and if they don't pick it up for themselves, especially after the Jaina ban, it seems like an ENDEMIC style pick. It gives you the wave clear, gives you the team fight potential, and low risk potential if a Tracer is picked up on the other side. So maybe ENDEMIC targets that instead of the support.
25 seconds to find out. We're also looking at what ENDEMIC's going to play for their primary warrior now. Less of a choke than before, but still Muradin and Johanna gone. Any chance maybe we get a B-Kid Diablo?
I think so. It seems likely. I think it'll be determined on these picks here. If there's a Tracer, Diablo looks good.
He may ATC. Just for a Power Slide Swift Strike follow-up. You can do the same with the Diablo combo, though.
I feel right now it's gotta be between either a Phoenix or the Tracer composition. I can't see it being much else for Octalysis right now. The Gul'dan, I'm not feeling the Gul'dan. There's the Phoenix.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty excellent pickup here for Octalysis. It's good for their composition, it's safe, and it keeps it out of the hands of ENDEMIC.
Well, ENDEMIC played one Genji Hanzo comp. Will they run it again here? They already have Blaze. Having the bunker as an extra means of being able to survive. They don't have Divine Shield this time, having the Malfurion, but they can get a frontliner who can have some control over the team. Do you see that? Do you see anything else?
I mean, Hanzo fits the role. He doesn't have significant wave clear, but once Explosive Arrow comes in, it does hold up on this battleground. So Hanzo seems likely. We see the options beyond that. They're few. There are very few beyond that. Because you don't want to run Li Ming here if you are on the side of ENDEMIC.
Yeah.
Just the wave clear is nowhere near enough.
You would be very focused on getting kills, winning team fights, and then getting a turn in after the fact. But as we've seen, you're putting the burden of execution on yourself, not having the wave clear necessary to have control over the turn-ins enough to get those in. So they're going to go with Hanzo. Ooh. B-Kid wants to play.
How are we feeling about Li Ming here? Simple standard for Octalysis or mix it up? Poor Tychus.
I'm thinking. And I'm also looking at hero pools. Prismat has been more of the Phoenix player.
It's like
Draded has played Phoenix too.
It's like reading a novel when you read the hero pools of Octalysis. It's lengthy.
We've seen some. I almost think Team Octalysis might just devote more into wave clear than Li Ming. Otherwise,
Sergeant Hammer.
You want Ham?
No, not into Stitches. Tychus, I have no idea. Clearly, he's fallen off and out of favor. His win rate started to plummet towards the end of phase 1.
I think they could Gul'dan or Junkrat here and then just separate Stitches from the rest of the squad.
Or Tassadar.
Huh.
Well, the Task Phoenix combo at Mid-Season Brawl by Tempo Storm, I believe they ran it on Volskaya, looked very dominant.
Unkillable Phoenix.
Yes. And so shields upon shields, wave clear upon wave clear. And as those two ramp up, Phoenix obviously very strong throughout the game. The Tassadar, once he hits 16, and then if you can get to 20 with the Infinite Archon, you have a lot of firepower between that backliner. You have a substantial amount of wave clear. So there are some definite positives to that pairing.
Yeah, I want to see Team Octalysis come in and have a super strong early laning setup before explosive arrows hits for Hanzo. Try to get control of those lanes, maybe go back right away and get some camps, push that out, and then try to get that first turn in, because what we've seen from North America and HGC is if you get that first turn in, you set yourself up for success for the rest of the game, because we're getting pretty good at getting the double turn-ins in a way to snowball the game.
It's just about getting any turn in at all, which teams at times have struggled on. Oh, we're back. Hey, team. We're going into the game now.
We're going on a wild ride.
Now everybody knows I turn
Tasso.
around and just look at the big screen. I only do it for like the first half, though.
You just caught me post going into the game dance. There's several dances, ghillie dances that happen. The post going into the game dance also functions as putting on my sweatshirt dance. It gets chilly in the studio sometimes.
No J dance.
Well, Octalysis need this game to keep us going into Game 5 after falling in the last one on Cursed. But Octalysis so far has been looking pretty good, being able to do that and bring the aggression, and their composition here spells the same. They're gonna keep fighting. Start to make the rotations up though, just trying to slow down ENDEMIC from being able to keep up with those as fast.
Adjusting all about those stacks going into a perfect storm. 2 for 2 so far. I think that's one of the reasons he was like low on health. He's like, I got second win. I'm just trying to stack here. Don't mind me.
I have never seen him take anything else this whole phase. That is the justing talent.
I will say that I don't play at the competitive level, and I pick that every single time I play Murden.
That sounds about right.
Infinite stacking ghillie.
Well, it almost netted a kill too. That was an aggressive dive and aggressive warp. Almost got that kill on Hanzo in the top lane. It's ENDEMIC who makes a quick rotation to bruisers as soon as they spawn, trying to make sure that they can keep some semblance of control over these lanes.
Both teams with the camps. And again, wave clear for Octalysis. Much better in the early game compared to that of the Hanzo on the other side, still waiting for that level 4.
Stitches does have heavy slam, which is helping with that as he builds further into the slam build. Octalysis get those bruisers. Already have 12 gems turned in, but it's going to take a little bit of time until they can get up to what is necessary. That's a hook that hits. Biggie's there to follow up with the damage. A Swift Strike too. First blood.
You know, if you kill the minions and you're standing in the middle of the minions, you're a hook target. If you stand behind your own minions, it's a little bit easier. Being a melee support, well, you've got to be in melee, and that is a hook target if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, Muradin can dwarf toss away. Phoenix has warp, provided he doesn't get stopped from using that. Yrel, of course, has Avenging Wrath, and then Tassadar, he has Dimensional Shift. So looking at Rhaegar, especially if he doesn't have Ghost Wolf try to run away, and if the roots are there, it's going to be trying to put that dog in the kennel.
Yrel is going to be trying to help that level 4 pickup.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Yrel is
Hand
like,
of Freedom
all right, look,
is back.
you can't cleanse yourself. I don't have the full cleanse, but I can definitely help you out of roots. There was a hook root combo, and Yrel in the solo lane in the early game, so won't be there. We also have a change-up. Malfurion on his root talent, definitely changing things up. Not the Vengeful.
Strangling.
You get the Strangling, but it doesn't matter as we're getting some kills traded out here. Cure comes in with the flank, 1 for 1 so far.
That was quite the flank all the way around. Goku's gonna knock back here, so he stays in the fight, which is to the demise of Phoenix at the same time, turning out 2 for 2. Then Genji goes down. What is this fight?
We went from a very quiet and not very active game to let's trade out kills in rapid succession.
The old 3-minute, 30-second throwdown. But it started when everyone dove. Stitches got him, but then Cure had this beautiful flank around the side. Now Michael Udall is gonna still be under fire.
If Justin was level 7, Udall's dead there. Give him the axe, would have completed that kill.
We talked about Hand of Freedom trying to help out whoever is hooked. And Kala's Light is gonna help with that too from Tastar. As long as he's there, has the shield cooldown up, then yes, the Strangling Vines might give some heal reduction, but trying to have the armor that'll come in from the burst to help out. And you talk about burst, that was so many people diving in on a Stitches.
Thought Stitches had the highest base health pull in the game, but I'm starting to question myself after that kill.
Octalysis just seemed angry.
Well, combat advantage. Obviously, you get the slow off your plasma cutter, but you have the totem and you have the thunderclap slow from Muradin.
Yeah.
So your first tick going onto that, the damage is high impact from the first tick through the last. So definitely more damage coming out there from Phoenix.
Even Tassadar auto attacks.
That is true, yes.
And Ural has a slow. There's a lot of slows happening. Ural's is short though, but still impactful. Octalysis now has the first Web Weavers off of the couple of picks that they've been able to get on a Stitches. They're looking to get more. Ooh. Well, that's not the talent that I took. But interesting to see Augmented Guard from Genji, just trying to get a little bit more of some self-sustain.
We normally see a lot on the cooldown reduction, or even, I mean, dodge obviously has been nerfed so many times that it's very situational. This is a heavy auto attack team.
Yeah, I thought maybe it would be the cooldown reduction because Tassadar, his auto attacks, Phoenix has a faster auto attack mode, but could have also been the Augmented Guard.
Well, that first wave netted quite a bit of structure damage in. Could not quite get that top port down, but the lead clearly in favor in Octalysis. They're still a ways away from another turn in, so ENDEMIC should be able to ride this wave just a little bit before they can get their next turn in. Unless we get this kill to break out first. Goku walks in. Gonna go ahead and jump on out. Prismat warps out before the hook comes in. Octalysis and team, they're rounding 10. I think ENDEMIC needs to walk away at least for a few moments.
That was very well done. Ideally for ENDEMIC, if they don't get the turn in there, which they may not have necessarily wanted, yes, they don't want to fall too behind in experience, but they also don't want to give time where Octalysis can clear out their Web Weavers faster without ENDEMIC having heroic abilities. But there, if Octalysis got a little bit too spread, trying to get their camp or trying to rotate around and protect both of the turn-in points, then with the hook and the burst combo, ENDEMIC might have been able to get the kill there, but they didn't. And now Justin's going in. We see the Planet Cracker.
I spotted that, and I'm like, hold up. I'm expecting that to be used for Web Weaver clear. It's a pseudo lava wave, as we saw in Brax's holdout not too long ago. That was trying to confirm kills on that go-round.
He just wants to get his own Reddit thread. You know, Yoda got one with his Planet Cracker.
Dude, that was so sick, though.
It was pretty cool. I know, I casted it.
Yeah, but even watching the replay, I watched it a couple of times, because watching it live, you're like, that is insane. And then you watch it again, and you're like, that is
still insane.
Still insane.
Well, that is now down for about 60 seconds for Octalysis, and ENDEMIC get their heroic abilities, and Octalysis focus on putting in some fort damage, don't quite get it, and didn't get the turn-in before the fact.
Cleanse used there on Prismat, walking away. Still no heroic picked up by Stitches.
Yeah, I looked up for that too.
Yeah, I saw the question mark before, and then, oh, we got a Dragon Arrow. I believe it was used here, and here we go. We got the fight breaking out in the bot lane.
Muradin is not here. Buzz is gonna throw out the Ancestral just because he knows he's likely to go down, and he does. That's one kill for ENDEMIC now as they hit 10, and they run with it.
Should be enough for them to get their first turn in. Prismat trying to turn in a few gems of his own. There's going to be a stun. Genji, does he have his Swift Strike? The helping hand is going to pull Biggie out of danger. Prismat still waiting on that shield to reach in there, but that was a scary moment for Biggie.
That it was, but B-Kid, that long-standing duo that's been playing for over 2 years together, saves each other regularly and here.
Let's keep an eye on Phoenix. Watch Phoenix.
Okay.
He's trying to line up
Yep.
multiple ones. Here we go. Okay, that one might have been slightly off. Just a tiny, tiny bit off. Just a pixel or two. About that Reddit thread you were talking about. Might be coming.
He'll have more chances. Let's see if Octalysis can make something happen here. Dragon's Arrow hits Justin very low. Very, very low.
Ooh.
Jumped out, but he's out of the fight for the moment. Look at that area damage. Look at that, everything damage. A 1-for-1 trade, but there is likely to be a whole lot more.
Goku brought the hammer in there. That is your hockey swing that I saw from the other day. He clubbed them out of there.
And did it again, saving this fort from the Web Weavers. ENDEMIC had a Web Weaver phase, despite not having the lineup you would want from the Planet Cracker. And the 1-for-1 trade, losing your Phoenix, the clear and the fight that was forced was enough that Octalysis still maintains a lead in the race to 13 in experience. And they have quite a lot of gems turned in. Both of them do. This is a race to see who gets this next turn in.
Scatter Arrow just missed on interrupting Justin there, so now they sit just 3 shy. Hammer goes out, Udall getting stunned, trying to walk away. Helping hand gonna be enough.
No, 13.
Goku helps confirm that. Swift strike in return. Goku Ancestral's gonna land. No Ardent Defender, still trying to walk away from this. Does make it Dragon Arrow in return.
And it sets up that Dragon Blade pretty darn well. The hook pulls in Rhaegar, and he is not coming out. Neither is Muradin. He falls. Big Impact wants to chase down Prismaticism, though, and Draded hops into his Archon form to evade that. Red Web Weavers will come in, and it took till Game 4, Jay Howe, but I knew that both of these teams wanted to bring the fight. They wanted to be in each other's faces. We saw it from a couple of different games from one or the other, but this is the game where we have dropped everything else. It's all about the fight.
13 total kills as Octalysis will try and get something out of this push, but they've got to get out of here. Here comes the flank from Biggie. See if he can make something happen. He went the cooldown flow like water, not the Shingun that we've seen against some Phoenix players. So trying to make the most, hitting the most targets, getting the cooldown reduction. He's made the most between his Dragon Blade and his Swift Strikes in that last fight. I can guarantee you that much.
There was nothing gained from that at all. Unless they can get this kill on Kir. Kir gets another helping hand, still has the bunker if necessary, and uses it to body block Octalysis from being able to follow up.
Michael Udall's roots, though, money.
And the helping hands, the hooks, have been awesome. Aggressive and defensively. But I want to go back to this point to reiterate, we have now seen 2 Web Weaver phases that have not netted forts for either side. But ENDEMIC has only turned in 1 turn-in so far, 50 gems, whereas Octalysis has now given 2 and only gotten that mid-fort because of the push that they pushed in, not even with a Web Weaver phase.
There it is. We'll see the positioning of Phoenix this round. Saw him at the top. Right now, maybe just focusing straight down one lane, especially while dealing with this. There's a Swift Strike, Dragon Arrow follow-up. Cleanse going to be used. Cure missing the mark because of it. Goku holding his own in the backline. Does have Ardent Defender in case things get crazy. Does manage to come out. Tranquility and Bunker, however, used at the same time.
Bunker is going to be brought down by the Planet Cracker, which means it's not here to defend versus the Web Weaver. But Octalysis are hoping to do that the good old-fashioned way by using the Justin and Goku high health bars to force back ENDEMIC. ENDEMIC are not about that life. They shove on forward, they take out this fort, they still have healthy Web Weavers in the other lanes. And despite this team not having the Web Weaver to start, that they are getting more done out of their Web Weavers than the team from Octalysis, who did have a lot, is concerning. Octalysis are ready to bring the fight back, though.
Biggie able to get out of danger. We'll see if Kira has the same fate as he is being targeted. He's going to be the first to fall. Goku getting into position. Ancestral not going to land on a Phoenix, so a lot of the firepower gone here. Biggie trying to walk away. No mobility, no helping hand. You cannot pull yourself. Biggie trying to trade out on the backline against Draded. It is a 2-for-1 in favor of ENDEMIC. Gilly, you pointed out those Web Weavers. they're getting value.
Yeah, Octalysis were willing to fight without 16, and though they did get a couple of kills, they stopped ENDEMIC from being able to push that mid. When they rotated out to defend versus the other web weavers, they still lost all of their forts. They've lost a lot of control in this game, and they are half a level behind, but they've hung in because they forced that fight. They got the couple of kills, and they pushed back ENDEMIC.
Well, Octalysis does have enough for a turn, and we'll see if they opt to try and force their issue. They also have a bruiser camp on their side to get some map control in that bot lane. They're clearing out the bottom. Psionic Echo available here for Tassadar, which is when he really starts to spike up in the wave clear and damage department. So for Octalysis, a lot of things in their favor at the moment. They still have to make a lot happen, and in their way is ENDEMIC, who's still up 2-1 in the series, trying to close it out.
Pulverize is here too, though, having that mega slam after a hook for B-Kid just gives a lot more follow-up from that.
That amount of control. Late game Stitches is terrifying. Justin going in, getting another hammer down, sitting at 30 stacks, did have his baseline completed, so he does have the Pierce as well. Goku interrupted there by Dansky, but Justin again, there's the target.
They're gonna have to fight it out first. Having B-Kid in the slows, Prismaticism is doing such a great job of keeping his slows on B-Kid. Big impact, goes in the back of the Dragon Blade, trying to disrupt, trying to dissuade Octalysis from going forward. Now the Putrid Bile is out. Octalysis is trying to ford through the waters of that bile to get back on them. Kira dives forward, doesn't hit anybody with the jet propulsion though. This team is split. The Planet Cracker Tassadar goes down in the back though.
Biggie is a beast right now. He's going to go ahead and agility over. Bud's in position. Dansky, he's going to fall 2-for-1 in favor. See if Biggie can trade out. Instead, goes the other way. So we have a 2-for-1 trade as we see Rhaegar, I believe, got pulled over there.
Yes.
Now Justin looking for another, getting the stun. The hammers are abundant here. Michael Udall has fallen, and that is gems lost. Only 3 gems remain in the pockets now of ENDEMIC. That is a catastrophic loss right there.
Goku has been just wrecking people with this Urel. His Urel is awesome. That hook was pretty good, but there is still the warp. He used it. That strike at the heart with the Swift Strike 2 halved Prismaticism's health bar. They needed to make sure that he stayed alive, and he did. Goku working on the Giants so they can pack a punch with these web weavers in a way that Octalysis has not been able to previously.
The amount of damage that Biggie is able to apply to the backline, it's been there, but Octalysis just dives back on the other side. And
it's pure dive.
It
just
is.
Who dives first.
It's been wild. There's not been those even or those one-sided fights. It is even. It is 11 kills to 10. Now camp pushing bottom. Octalysis, they have the slight experience lead, and it will climb here towards that 20. They're also sitting on around 50 gems, maybe enough for another turn in at the end of this. And if they can get those extra gems and get 20, might be able to get another turn in here. But they still have to make something happen. See if ENDEMIC might try and force a response. The Blaze in the bot lane, just overwhelming right now the amount of pressure that these web weavers are putting on.
Octalysis doing all they can with this, but these are cleared out quickly. The keep does not die. Goku gets pulled in by a hook, uses Ardent Defender, and absorbs up a lot of the damage that came in after the fact.
Justin already used his Dwarf Toss. See if he can get out of there. There's going to be a little bit of movement speed that's going to allow him to go.
He's 20.
Yeah, he could always lock in, rewind
Yeah.
if needed. 20's here. They might force this boss, and right now they're holding position. Infinite Archon is out. They're going to hold for now. Justin gets that down, gets the healing. Avatar out. Octalysis looking to bring the fight.
Yeah, they're stepping off the boss. Goku's still there. Dragon's Arrow setting up the Dragon Blade yet again. Hook hits. It is on Buds again, and again Buds goes down to the pressure. ENDEMIC gets a hook, gets a kill from that, and now Octalysis are losing in these health bars. Draded is going to be a fish in a barrel for Big Impact as he executes.
Well, they got the boss, but that boss is going to do almost nothing as it will be dealt with as it approaches this keep. Gems lost on the side of Octalysis, but they still have a closer race, I believe, at this point, almost even, to get towards that next turn in. But 20, crucial here, picked up by ENDEMIC to keep themselves in this game. This is a battle right now between these two teams.
12 kills to 11. A lot of times when I feel like it's a close game, I'll look up at the kills and it's like, oh, it wasn't that close, but this one is as close as it gets. No keeps down. Octalysis did reset the gem count of ENDEMIC somewhat so that they have a lead there. They get their bruisers as ENDEMIC comes in.
But you know B-Kid was looking for that hook.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
If he could find Prismat at any moment. Goku trying to at least keep control of the lane. Sitting on the majority of the gems here for Octalysis. Everybody back on the battleground. Dragon Becomes Me was also picked up. That's how good Biggie is feeling about staying on that back line.
That's a ginormous spike for him. Bruises the pole, doesn't even use warp. The target's B-Kid. They want to get him out of the fight if they can. The bunker is there. Dragon's Arrow is in the back. Stops a lot of this, plus the Putrid Bile. And the front line of Octalysis can't go forward. Can't really go back either because of the slows of Blaze, though, and they'll give it another go.
See if B-Kid gets the hook, though. Prismat's got, I was going to say, Prismat's got to be careful there. I didn't know the cooldown on that. Goku again going to attempt to try and get the turn in. Struggling to do that as the defense here of ENDEMIC is very much real. And there goes B-Kid eating some damage. Goku diving in again. Archon is out, forcing ENDEMIC back. That looks like it's going to be enough as see if they come back and defend. Goku doesn't have enough by himself, but they are awfully close with just one additional turn in here from Octalysis.
Drayden didn't have anything to attack, so he has lost his Archon, but the turn in was acquired.
That camp. Ooh, you know Octalysis was contemplating that.
Octalysis is way more concerned with trying to keep all of the lanes pushed out to get maximum Webweaver damage. We're looking at a 20-minute Webweavers. That top keep has taken damage because of the boss earlier. This is time for Octalysis. This is their moment to take us to game 5.
They're going to clear out this camp mid, get that mid lane pressure, hope that that top camp, that top Webweaver phase might be able to take it down. There's going to be the stun, though, onto Cure. The knockback is there. Jet propulsion interrupted. Bunker's here, and I don't think Cure makes it out of here. The damage is coming in. It's furious. The Planet Cracker trying to take him down. Cure somehow survives there as the hammer, I think, knocked him out of the Planet Cracker.
I think the hope was that it would be enough damage, but it just wasn't enough. The bunker, though, it was burned. The body block's good to stop a jet propulsion, and the hammer was there too. The Storm Bolt, everything, doing what they can to get that cure. It just wasn't quite enough. The front line again goes in. This time, the target is B-Kid. You see the Dragon Blade with the Dragon's Arrow setup in the back. They're staying strong as Ancestral Healing keeps Goku up.
But the Webweavers are pretty much down. Prismat, Unconquered's there. Cleanse is going to be there as well. Justin comes back in with the stun, with the follow-up. The healing reduction is going to be there. Ardent Defender is out. Justin trying to make his way, but Dansky is going in that back line, wrecking people. Dansky coming in, taking down 2 members. Goku, he's the third to fall, and ENDEMIC has blown this wide open.
I cannot believe this Hanzo play. Dansky by himself went in, got 1 kill, got 2 kills. He set up the Dragon Blade. That wasn't working, so he went in and he got the kills. There's still Webweavers on the board. A keep has fallen, but 3 people down from Octalysis now for 45 more seconds.
Are they willing to try and end this again in similar fashion? Infinite Archon will be here if they want it. Psystorms are going down. Keep, all they want is the keep. B-Kid eating damage. Justin coming in with the stun. Archon is out. Here comes the Archon damage. Dansky down. B-Kid is being targeted. Body blocks are here. Is it going to be enough?
B-Kid can't get out of here, not with Justin and Drayden slows. He finally has the Putrid Bile and the movement speed from that. He'll step away, but they don't get a keep. They have Webweavers behind this. They can get the turn in, but somehow with 2 people left, Octalysis hold a Tassadar and a Muradin.
Look, Muradin straight up right now, full beast mode. 57 stacks on his level 1 quest.
Yikes.
Multiply that by 5. He's bursting almost an extra 300 damage on top of that at this point. So every time he hits, it's got the pierce, it's got the damage, and it's continuing to ramp up. But now Octalysis will have to defend here. Play of the game was picked up. So if ENDEMIC pushes out, you can always move forward. It's a global, in a sense, for that if you can land it.
I heard the roar of that Archon, and I was terrified for ENDEMIC, despite the fact that it was 4 or 5 versus 2, insane. And now he still has it back. Octalysis gets right back to business, looking at the team fight, ignoring the Web Weavers. There is that play of the game.
And now Dragon Blade out as well. They're trying to do the damage. Prismat receives the Ancestral. He's alive for now. B-Kid being stunned out. He's the target.
He is. He's slowed down by the Archon as he hops into the bunker one last time to get the armor that it provides. Butts goes forward. They are trying so hard to bring him down. Prismat warps out the last second, getting the heal, staying alive.
Biggie trying to survive. Planet Cracker in response. Biggie just gets out of danger. Goku coming back in. He's going to go. Icebox is going to be used out here, and he's in trouble. He's going to go down. That is 2 members down on the side of ENDEMIC, and Octalysis is now fighting back, trying to end this game if they can get one more pick. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. They have to defend Web Weavers of their own. They need to keep Keeps alive.
24 minutes on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it's a battle for their lives for ENDEMIC to win this series. Keeps their hopes alive for the Western Clash after losing 3-2 in a bitter series versus Team Freedom. For Octalysis, they've already lost to Heroes Hearth. They've already lost to Tempo Storm. All they want is to make it through one of these tough opponents and prove that they belong at the top of North America.
Archon is still up, and this boss has potential to end the game. That top keep sitting at about 75 to 80% health, and that is not much for a 24-minute boss to go through. And now for Octalysis, can they send us to a game number 5? This might be the victory push. ENDEMIC is trying to have camps that can counter this just in case, but I think right now all hands on deck here for ENDEMIC.
All eyes on this top lane as Octalysis jumps forward with Justin. Goku not following it up yet, working on taking the keep out. Dansky comes in. The brawl is it. The brawl is down. Phoenix has fallen. ENDEMIC get 1 kill on someone they need it, but this boss is so healthy. Draded still has the Archon, and Octalysis is making the death march.
This is it. Shields falling here. Octalysis looking to send us to a game number 5. I think this boss is going to be strong enough. 80% and falling. Octalysis fought back. 30 total kills in this game. That boss is too much. Despite Biggie popping off at the end of this game, we are heading to game number 5. And wow, that was a game right there.
That was a hell of a game. That was awesome. That's the kind of game you live for as a caster. My goodness, that was freaking fun.
I can't wait. I can't wait till we get this damage screen up. You guys are going to love the amount of firepower that came out in this game. That was just blasting each other.
19 kills to 15.
I mean, I'm just looking at the damage numbers on the side of ENDEMIC, and their whole team just looks like they butchered Octalysis, but...
Hey, that's the one hero we don't need it right now.
Even Stitches had 105,000 damage, Gilly. 105,000 damage for Stitches.
That was an epic game. I can't believe we're going to have to go to a break before we get game 5, but... Gosh, I knew that this had the potential, the way they've been drafting, the way they've been playing, up in the face, bringing the fight, and I just knew there was the potential for a game like that between these two teams. I'm so glad that Octalysis brought it back for one more go-around.
How do you like your Sunday nights? Because this is how I like mine.
Like this, right, like this, just like this.
This is great. This is great. I mean, again, both teams sitting at 2-2. The implications on this series are so huge for both of these teams, and they are showing every bit of resolve that they have here in this series to push themselves towards that top 4 spot, and both of them desperately want that.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it. We're going to go to that break. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's Game 5. It's the conclusion of this incredible series.